Hey everybody, I wanted to film a quick little video here because I was in the middle of doing this and I realized, you know what, hey, I've mastered this enough where I can show you guys how to do it. So I've been working on a friendship bracelet which uses this lace. You can get this at any craft store or Amazon. I got it on Amazon. You can get like a ton for pretty cheap. I've never finished one of these, ever. I've started one, maybe got two here in the past, and then ended up throwing it away. But I just wanted to give you guys some quick tips on how to do this and what you need to do it. So, as you can see here, I bought this on Amazon too. It's just made of foam, squishy. You don't need this. You can use a piece of cardboard. It would help if this were bigger. I keep finding myself as I've been doing this, thinking like, oh God, I wish this thing was a little bit bigger. You can also, let me grab my little book here. I got this online, and it comes with a clip, which probably, I haven't taken it out, but probably stick somewhere, like a magnet or something. Or you just clip it to the edge of something. That helps, maybe even more than this. The reason I like these is it has these slots. Every little bump is a slot, and you can slide, I wish this would focus it, and you can slide it in there, and it holds your string in place. There we go, that's better. That's invaluable, especially for me as a beginner. You don't want to lose the position of your strings. You can find it again if you look at your stitching, but that really helps when you're starting out. So the piece of cardboard, usually cut a notch, and then in this one, this is a pretty simple stitch. This is just stripes. It's like the easiest one you can do. And I just used 4 strings, so you just need 4 slots. So if you did cardboard, you would just cut 4 little slots in them and try to space them out as much as possible, because you don't want all the strings, like, I wouldn't want one string here, 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 here. They're too close. You need some room to move your fingers around in there. What else can I tell you guys? I'm just going to show you how to do one of the stitches while I'm at it. So, as you're looking at it, I'm going to start with the string on the left. You always start with the one that's farthest to the left. So what I do is I take it out. Let me move this down so you can see. So you guys are going to kind of see it upside down. Where should I go here? Here we go. So I'm taking my white string. And this is similar to the hemp stitch we did. You kind of make a number 4 over top of the string right next to it. So I start with white, and I'm going to make a knot on this gray string. So I have a white, a gray, a pink, and this is like dark gray or steel. And what you do is you go over top of the gray, then tuck the white string behind it and up through the hole of the number 4. And then when you pull this tight, you keep this gray string tight. That's why it helps to have this holder. You just want to see how the white is kind of loose going up and the gray is tight. Keep that gray taut. I like to put a finger on each spot. And then tighten that white string up as tight as you can make it. Now, I'm a beginner on this, and my stitches are okay, but they could be a little bit better. You don't have to go as tight as I did, I don't think. I go as tight as I can because I want all of the stitching, all of these little bumps in here to be the exact same size. The more uniform they are, the better your bracelet will look when you're done. Now once you've done your first knot, then you do the same exact thing a second time. Over the front of the gray, behind it, up through the loop. My phone is ringing in the other room, that's annoying. And then again, hold that gray string nice and tight. Slide the white up, and when you get to the top, tighten that sucker. There we go. Now, I just did knots around the gray. Now I'm going to move over to the pink. I'm going to do the same thing on the pink string. Tuck the white under, up through the loop. So my string is going off to my right. Slide it up, tight. It's so tight that the knot I make is almost, it's minuscule. It's super tiny. That's fine. Always remember to do 2 knots. 2 knots. And one, I just did one. Here comes the second one. Same exact style of knot. In front and then behind. Up through the loop. Keep that pink string tight. And pull it tight. Boom. You can, you can't really see it on the camera, but when you look at it, you want I have a knot here, I have a knot here. I want them to look similar in size. So if you're pulling one a little tighter than the other, or you're making one looser than the other, you'll notice that the bumps, the knots that you make will not look the same, and then you have like a clumpy product. So you want to just try to keep all of your knots the same size. On the last string, the dark gray one, boom. Where was that? That was right here. So now I'm done, and the white one is now all the way to the side. When you move to your next, so I've done all my white stitching. So you can see kind of I have like a pink line, a dark gray line, a white line. Now gray is next. So what you do before you do all your stitching is you slide all the strings over one place. So the one that was on 8 goes to 4, the one that was on 4 goes to 1, the one that was 12 goes to 8, and then white goes in the last one. Because now when I do my next stitches, which is I'm going to use this string now, I'm going to do 2 knots on the pink, 2 knots on the dark gray, 2 knots on the white, and then this will be over here, and they all slide over one. And you just keep doing that process. Now I'll try to explain this as best as I can here. Now you can see I have pink, dark gray, white, gray. Pink, dark gray, white, and gray is next. So if you ever have this happen where these fall out and you forget, oh man, what was the order of my strings? Just look at your pattern. So again, pink, dark gray, white, light gray. Pink, dark gray, white. So light gray is next. So that should be on number 1. And after gray is pink, so that should be after that. Then what comes after pink? Dark gray, so that goes on the 8. And then white was the most recent one, so that's last. So if you ever lose order of your strings, you can just look at your pattern, and that's what should be next. So after white in my pattern comes light gray, so light gray should be on number 1. After light gray comes pink, that should be next. After pink comes dark gray, that should be next, and white's the last. That's pretty much it. Oh, you know what else I thought was good? If you don't want to use one of these frames, if you have a safety pin, you can put a safety pin through your knot or through at the top of your stitching when you start it. And I've seen some counselors and campers do this. You put the safety pin in through your jeans or your pants or your shorts, and you can hold it just right on your leg and work it. That helps because then, see, a lot of times with this thing, when I'm pulling tight on these strings, this tends to want to come out a lot. That's infuriating. This clip or a safety pin would probably hold it a little more firm and make the job easier. I like this specifically for when you're done because it holds all your strings exactly where you left them. And sometimes if you're done and you don't want to leave all this, just carefully gather it up and you can just wind it around and just stick it in there somewhere. And that'll hold all your strings nice and neat. You got to be careful. As you can see, there's a knot in that. That just happened from it. Like, I didn't tie that knot on purpose. It just knots it itself if you let it get too tangled, especially in the beginning when you've got a lot of extra string hanging. These laces, these friendship bracelet strings you get, are super thin, and they're made up. It's like a rope. They're made up of even tinier, thinner strands of string. So they want to come apart very easily. Also, if you're going to put your safety pin through here, don't force it because you don't want to break any of the strands that make up these single colors, or then it'll kind of fall apart. You'll get a ratty looking product. So you want to slide the safety pin in there with the least amount of resistance possible. You don't want to poke any of the strings or break them. You want to be gentle with this. And then I'll try to show you, hopefully I can finish this by Monday, and I'll show you how to put it on your wrist. The only way I really know the book show is you want to leave this much, like about 1.5 inches of string on each end, and you just tie a double knot. Pretty easy. Double knot around your wrist, except it won't come off. This is the one I made in an earlier video, the hemp bracelet. See, I have like a bead on here and loop, so I can take this on and off, which is nice. This one, I haven't figured out a way at least, and I'm a beginner with this on how to take it off. So once you have this on, it's staying on. So you better commit. And then maybe in the last week of virtual camp, I'll show you how to make one that's a chevron and wider. So when you use 4 strings, see, you only get like 1 row of each color, and it's about this wide. I'm pretty sure, I'll try this out. If you use 4 strings, it should double this length and double the width of your stripe. I'm sorry, 8 strings, not 4. But that if you use 4 strings that you're doubling up. So instead of having 1 white, 1 dark gray, 1 pink, and 1 light gray, I'd have 2 whites, 2 dark gray, 2 pink, and 2 gray. Then I would have this would double in width, and instead of 1 row of each color, I'd have 2 rows in a row, if you wanted to do it like that. But basically, your bracelet will get wider, which I kind of like. These thin ones are fine. Just for a reference, you can see that's the width on my wrist. So just 4 strings is very narrow. I kind of like the friendship bracelets that are a little wider, but they'll take time. They'll take longer to do. So anyway, that's pretty much that. And after this one, maybe I'll try out a chevron. I'll show you how to do that. Thanks, guys.